You want to be relaxed, you want to be calm, but you're very, very anxious. It's tough. You want to relax, but you feel like there are 1,000 things running in your mind, a lot of things that you need to sort out, but you're confused. You don't know where to start. If you have ever felt that, you will more likely feel it again because it's a common thing. It's something that we all feel. Now, it's not about feeling that. There's nothing wrong in feeling like that. But if you don't know how to sort it out, if you don't know how to deal with it, then you will have a hard time dealing with being anxious and being relaxed. So in this video, I am going to be giving you 3 amazing tips that actually work to make you feel calm, very relaxed in almost any situation. These 3 tips are something that's backed by science. So get ready to learn 3 things that really actually work. Hello guys, welcome to Models of Excellence, where we tell you tools, strategies and techniques to help you lead an excellent life. Tip number 1. Breathing and body language. I can't stress enough as to how connected breathing and body language and our emotions are. That's why when you see certain people, you kind of know by looking at their body language if they're sad, happy, excited, scared, anything. When you look at people, you kind of understand. So why does this matter to you? How can this help you? When your emotion changes, your body language and breathing changes. But vice versa is also true. When your body language and breathing changes, your emotions also change. That's why, when somebody tells you to take a deep breath, breathe deeply a couple of times, you begin to feel very, very relaxed. So how do you use body language and breathing to feel relaxed? One way is this. Make sure to keep your chest front, shoulders back. By chest front, shoulders back, I don't mean put a lot of pressure on it where you're like, where you're trying hard to keep that posture. Just in a relaxed way, how much ever you can without putting a lot of stress. Chest front, shoulders back, head tilted a little bit upwards, and have a bit of an open body language. Or close if you wish to. I suggest open. And once you begin to hold this kind of a body language, something amazing happens. You will begin to feel that you just feel different. You really do. Now the other part to it is breathing. Now how do you use breathing? So first way to use breathing is try to breathe in your diaphragm. So to know if you're breathing from diaphragm or not, take your hands, put it in the abdominal area, a little bit above your abdominal area. So somewhere below or very close to your belly button. Just keep it there. And when you breathe, that part is the part that should contract and expand. Okay? If that's not happening, then you're not breathing deep. So once you learn how to breathe from your diaphragm, you'll begin to feel how relaxed you are. So that's one. The second part about it is slow down your pace of breathing. When you're very anxious or afraid, you breathe shallow. You breathe near your chest area and you breathe quickly. So what you can do is to slow down that breathing. Like slowly breathe in through your diaphragm. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. This is slower than your usual pace. And as this slows down, you'll also begin to notice that your thoughts, what seem like, they're racing, they're like hundreds of thoughts just going on in your mind, just racing around in your mind, they begin to slow down. The number of thoughts also come down. Second is acceptance. A lot of times when we are annoyed, irritated, or anxious, or scared, or angry, you'll see one thing. That one part, you have an expectation. Okay, one part you have an expectation that you want something to happen for yourself or from the people around you or from the world. Then you have something that is actually happening which is different from what you expect. And that different thing is something that you don't like. For example, if you say that you wanted to maybe be taller. Okay, maybe you say, I want to grow taller. That's something. Maybe you don't grow tall enough. That's the other thing that actually happened that you don't like. There's a friction between it. There's that difference between what you expect and what you get. So the only thing that can help you deal with it is to accept it. There are certain things you cannot change in life, there are certain things you can. Think about your relationships, health, wealth, whatever it is. There are things that you expect, but world has its own way of working things out or getting things done. So if it's out of your control, then accept where you are and work on it. If it's something that's not in your control, then accept it and let it go. Okay? Let's say you want to get fit, you can still go to the gym, right? But if you're short and you say, you know what, I wish I was tall, that's not possible, at least right now, right? That's something out of your control. So instead of thinking, I should have done that, I should have said this, I should have said that, if you can change it, change it. If you cannot, let it go. Third tip to be really calm is to use this technique called state break. Now, what is state break? Babies, okay, they do something very fascinating. They cry, they fall and they hurt themselves, they start crying. All of a sudden make a fun noise or something like that. Just snap, clap, or some kind of a bell or some cartoon kind of a thing. Some noise comes around in the background, and all of a sudden they start crying as if nothing has happened, and they start focusing on that sound. After that, a lot of them don't cry, or some may go back to crying because they're hurt badly. That thing is called state break. You feeling anxious or sad or afraid is a state of mind. All you have to do is put a break to that, make you feel like, you know what, it's just a state of mind, get you to distract on something else. You will be able to get out from that. Now, why does this work? Well, what you focus on is what you really feel. What you focus on is what will be covering most of your life. For example, if you're like thinking about some bad incident that happened, you will feel, and if that is something that's really bugging you, you feel like that's all around you. If you really observe, those thoughts are very dominant at that point of time in your mind. Those images or those scenarios are very big, they're in front of you, so you give them a lot of priority. It feels like that is the only thing happening in your life. As soon as you break your state, you focus on something else. Maybe you see a kid who's very happy, very enjoying his or her day, and you look at the kid and you're like, that kid's enjoying playing around. You know what, when I was a kid, I used to have fun like that too, or something like that. All of a sudden your focus went from that to a kid having fun, and then you start imagining your childhood days, the good days of your childhood, and all of a sudden, because that's dominant right now, you start to feel good about it. So one way to break state is to think about something. It doesn't have to be positive. You just need to break state so that you don't really focus on the negative aspect. So what you do is think about it. Think about, let's say, what did you have for coffee? Like with coffee, what did you have? What snacks did you have? What lunch did you have 3 days before? Right? Which childhood friend do you remember? What do you remember about them? Or something like that. Or what you can do, the second way to do is to go speak to a friend. When you speak to people, something fascinating happens. They are able to get you focused from whatever you're really focusing on that's worrying you to something else, right? Because there are people around you, because one person or many people, they keep throwing different ideas. They want to talk about something that they care about, and all of a sudden your focus went from that to that topic. Your state is broken, and well, yeah, because you're sharing something with people, you feel like a weight is lifted. With that said, guys, if you felt like you learned something of value, then leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. This is Abhishek signing off. Goodbye.